What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
What's up? Yeah, it's me. I don't look like Greg Gray, do I? Nope. You guys got me today. I will be hosting today along with my family. But let me say this first. The views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Now that I got that out the way, y'all know we are going to have a fabulous show today. Man, when people do good things, what do we do here on Dope Living TV Live? We showcase them. And that's what we're going to do today. But before we do that, I'm going to bring my family on. Because, I don't do solo that well. So we're going to bring our family on. We're going to get started with this. Man, I'm ready. I hope everybody else ready. So let's get started. Come on, y'all. Come on. Let's see who we got here. Let's see who in the green room here. Let's see.
Hey.
Mo.
What's going on, family? I ain't been here in a couple of days, but I'm here.
I'm glad to see you here, Mo. How you feeling?
Good. I'm good. Hard work make a good man.
Man, you working hard, Mo.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're glad to see you here today. Who else we got? We got my sister right there.
Hey.
Sis, what's going on?
Marcy.
We had Miko a few minutes ago, but he changed his mind. Miko was going to come on with us today.
Really?
Big cat. Wow. The wildebeest.
Miko said, hey, everybody.
Oh, my God.
Look in the camera. Say, hey.
Miko.
That's Miko. He said, hey.
You got a license for that?
I need one for both of them. That's the small one.
At least a chain.
That's the small cat. The other one's bigger.
That's what Greg should have had. He should have had one of them and that'd chew the leg off or something.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the bodyguard.
Okay.
Let's bring on our next family member, Zale.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Hey, Zale.
What's happening? Hey, I didn't know you was a cat lady.
I am.
You're a wildebeest lady.
That's a big old Thundercat.
Greg called him wildebeest.
He said it's a Thundercat.
They're big, and they act like dogs. They actually act like dogs.
Woo!
Good to see y'all today.
You too.
You too. I'm glad you're doing well.
You declaw them, Marcy?
They are. They're strictly indoor cats.
Yeah, I have to leave the claws on, baby. You can't do that.
But you know what? I was looking at my security camera, and 12 seconds after my grandson and I came in, we walked through the garage, and I'm looking at my security cameras, and exactly 12 seconds, I'm looking on the outside in front of the garage, and there's a raccoon. And then I had to
thought it was your cat?
No, I knew it was not the cat, but my thing was, oh my God, did the garage door close in time? Is there a raccoon in the garage? So I'm hitting the door from the laundry room, and then I had to take the trash out. So I went out the front door, went to the end of the driveway, me and my granddaughter, and then we opened up the garage, and we were looking to make sure that the raccoon did not get in the garage, because that's the cat's outdoor to go into the garage with the door closed. And that would not have been a good fight.
No.
Yes.
Jay,
What's
What's
happening,
going on?
Coach?
Life coach Jeff.
What up, y'all? What's good with you?
What's
What's happening, brother?
Nothing much. You know, I'm just out here doing some things. I'm just here a little bit.
I missed you guys last week.
I know.
Hey, we missed you too.
Yeah, it's good to see the whole crew.
Yes.
Minus one.
Minus one.
All here today.
Definitely.
He had to get some Thundercats out of his house.
Well, you know what, Marcy, you got to be careful because somebody's gonna mistake that one for a raccoon.
Ooh, that's a big cat.
Really,
he doesn't go out. So
really,
yeah.
What's
that bad boy huge?
Is that Persian Tom mix?
Maine Coons.
Maine Coons.
They're both Maine Coons, and they're small for their size, for their breed.
It's got coon in the name. It's
right. So it's not a
well,
raccoon.
the other one doesn't look like that one.
It's a Maine Coon. So it's a Maine cat mixed with a coon.
And mother look like it looks like chew something off. If you go down there to pet it, take your hand off.
That one don't play.
Hey, wait a minute. Before we go any further, Gina.
Yes.
The intro that you played didn't have my name on it.
Oh yeah.
I just want you to know I saw that.
You can't blame me. I didn't play the intro. Can't blame that one on
Mo,
me.
that's you. You did that, Mo?
No, I didn't do that.
Somebody.
It's a behind the scenes.
I'm not in it either.
It's the Dope Living TV ghost.
It was the controller.
No, Marcy, I saw your name, but my name wasn't in it.
Hey.
Don't feel bad. My name wasn't in it one day.
Oh, one day. Oh, okay.
One
I
me.
was listening to the music. I was like, man, I don't know that intro music. And
I think that was the old one. I think that was an old one.
Though.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay.
Well, Greg is not here. Can someone please read the private
it's
chat?
Gumby, damn it.
It's Gumby, damn it. That's what he said.
Who did that come from?
Great.
He said Gumby. Y'all going way back with this Gumby and Thundercats. Y'all showing your age. You're showing your age.
Old, Gina.
and old intro.
We are going to have a wonderful show. We have an awesome guest on. He is doing so much for the city of Chicago. And, you know, one thing I say when people are doing good, you got to give them their props. You know, you got to just let them talk about it and scream it off the rooftops. And that's what we're going to do today because our guest is moving things from one city, not just one city. Let me retract that. One state to another.
Okay.
You know, one state. And so, you know, I'm not going to keep him waiting in the green room, the blue room, the white room, whatever color room he in. I ain't going to let him sit there for too long. So everybody, let's welcome Brian Metcalf.
Hi, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
What's going on, Brian?
How's everybody?
How's it going, Brian?
I'm all right.
Yes, it's good to see you. I've been knowing Brian, I don't know, for a very, very
15
long time.
years now.
15 years, a long
15
time.
years.
So, and I'm amazed at the growth that he's doing because when he came, we worked together. Matter of fact, did I hire you, Brian?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Okay. So when he came, he was like, I had to teach him up in this position because this was something he had never done. And it was something that was very new to him. But, you know, it helped him to grow, not just with the company, but once he left the company, he just flourished. Just flourished. So I'm not gonna take the floor from you, Brian. I'm gonna let you tell everybody what it is you have done, what it is you're doing now, and what it is you plan on doing.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad to be on here. Y'all have good times. I like it. And then the things that I do now is kind of crazy because Miss G, me and Miss G, we call her Miss G at online learning. And so I had never worked in higher ed before, but I would be in my cube. I would always enroll the students, right? But then be sitting up there planning events in the cube, and she would come out there and be like, and come sit in the front cube. And so the very thing that I got in trouble for, used to stay in trouble with Miss G for, is the thing that I never knew that I was going to be gifted in doing, which was community outreach. So while I was in the cube, I was like, oh, let me throw an event here and do that. And she would come out there and be like, y'all got one more time. I'm writing everybody up. The whole row was gonna be written up every week playing with Miss G, right? The whole row, we stayed in trouble. And so I would just like have ideas, and I was like, man, so I knew then it was a calling, because who actually gets up on Saturdays and just say, okay, the heck with like I like going to Chili's. I like having my vodka and having drinks and stuff like that. But what do you do when what you like to do has been stripped away of you, and God say, I start establishing, I need you to go handle this, and I need you to go handle that. So it started without being long with it. I started planning things for like homeless people at the church. Remember, Ms. G, when I would like start asking for donations at the job?
Yep.
And then and then you was like, you can't be up here soliciting. So then I called myself being smart. I don't want to have to write you up, Brian. You can't be up here soliciting. So then I started having people bring the stuff to the car. And then people were like, oh man, you always doing something. I used to actually get laughed at a lot at the church from church people. You always doing something. You always doing this. But then I thought about giving up. Maybe like 5 years after that, I thought about giving up. But nevertheless, I never thought that I would do like city youth takeovers where you'd have dance team. I never thought that I would raise over between 2017 and 2022. I've done $3.5 million in sponsorships by partnering with DePaul University, Roosevelt University, DePaul, Roosevelt, IIT. I started holding meetings with people. And so the same people who used to laugh at me, I get inboxes all the time from them.
Now they on board.
Yeah,
you know,
that's it.
But most people don't know is, again, it started with Miss G. It will be like every day. She'd be like, you okay, bow tie? That's what she calls me. You okay, bow tie? Yeah, Miss G.
Wait, hold up. You can't just rush through that and just throw that out. You got to tell them why you were.
Why? Yeah, Lord. Tell us why.
Yeah, because if you notice, my twin, Carlton Banks, right? And I used to come in there every day with these bow ties on. I don't do the clip-ons. I'll be in my cube. Thank you for calling American Intercontinental University. This is Brian. And tying a bow tie at the same time, enrolling students.
Dang.
I still got it, right, Ms. Z?
He wore a bow tie to work every single day, 5 days a week.
Every single day.
Did he have different colors for each day?
Oh, yeah.
Colors. 365. He had to have at least 365 bow ties.
Yeah.
He never wore the same bow tie.
That's what's up.
But one of the things that made him mad was when somebody came up in there with somebody else, another young man came in there with a bow tie, and it was a clip-on.
I said, no, Ms. Z, that's not it. That's not it.
Tell him what it is.
No, I think I made it worse when I brought him one. I brought him one. I said, man, don't wear that no more.
Give me that right there.
He was like, I got to school in one go.
Go put that on the dog.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing with them bow ties, y'all. That's why his nickname was bow tie. He was so serious about them bow ties, man. And couldn't nobody out bow tie Brian.
No.
What made you start wearing the bow ties?
Yeah.
It was a distinguished look. It was a distinguished gentleman look, you know, that I learned from, because I was raised by grandparents for a while.
Okay.
So my granddad didn't play them kind of games. When I was with him, I had khakis, starching, Arnhem shirts, Ralph Lauren backpacks. You wasn't gonna walk out as sure as you wasn't gonna play with Roy Bolton, not play with him at all, and say you was his grandson. Not at all.
Last name Metcalf. Come here, son. Let me talk to you for a second. Come here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, Ray,
oh yeah.
Tell us about your journey. What happened after you left higher education? You moved on to something else, because you didn't initially start off in the charity field, and you dibbled and dabbed in it, but not the way you are right now. So give us your journey.
No. So Ms. G trained me up in higher ed. That was what I knew. I became great at it. And then after being let go at AIU Online, I was like, God, what's next for me? I didn't have a plan. What's next for me? And then I would do like little charities here and there. And I was like, what's next for me? And everything I was doing was failing. So I was like, you got to show me something, because I was going to pack up and I was going to leave. But that's when I knew that running is not always the solution. Sometimes you got to fix you and seek seek his face and just be like, Lord, what's next for me? So with unemployment checks, I started getting jobs, but then I started developing projects. I don't know why I was developing the projects. I just knew I had to do it. So
God
the projects
bringing it
going, huh?
That was God bringing it out of you.
Yeah, I didn't know that though. I didn't know that. Then I started developing senior citizen projects. And then before I knew it, I would have like over $3,000 in giveaways for senior citizens, and didn't know why I was, why I'm like, man, I want to go out. No. And then for a while, I was like, I'm not going to do the projects anymore. Lord and behold, a year later, I had bookings like every week. I started blossoming. Every week, different people started contacting me and was like, are you still doing this? People that have forgotten all about that. I had just, even tried to do something for McDonald's charities, and they were like, no, we don't need you. 6 months later, they contacted me and signed me under McDonald's corporate charities. So start doing projects for youth that have cancer, sickle cell, diabetes, all Ronald McDonald House corporate charities. And then it went from Chicagoland to Northwest Suburbs, Lombard, Naperville. Now I'm on my way to Gary, crossing state lines now, going to St. Louis very soon. And then with the CDU takeover, it started with like doing things at the church. Mind you, the pastor had already told me he don't want to be bothered with that. And then so I was like, well, he's like, I'm gonna let you finish the college fair, but normally we don't do that here because nobody wants to be bothered with it. Number one. Number two is nobody's going to show up. Before I was like, well, maybe it started at 12. By 2 o'clock, I had over 300 people in the parking lot.
Wow.
75 people registered for school classes on the spot.
Wow.
That's what's up.
And after that, my old pastor began to allow me to start doing Halloween projects. And then I began to, through God, start creating traffic jams. So I didn't expect that though. So then it got clear to me. I said, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing right here.
There you go.
And so
have you ever, I'm sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and so I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so every event that I begin to put, God would give me vision. I'll be up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning putting together vision. And I was like, well, I want to, work with youth. I start working with youth in the community. Didn't know that Halloween parties, 500 youth would be in a parking lot.
Wow.
Wow.
Didn't know that like McDonald's, Mr. Phil Douglas, Deborah Douglas, that owned at the time 19 franchises, were like, what you need? Are you having something? I don't want you to listen to me, but it was in a joking way. But he bring over $2,000 worth of free French fries, burgers, sponsorships. So a lot of people begin to see the work, and then the sponsorships begin to contact me, and people would be like, "Would you put together a project?" So now, needless to say, the CDU takeover. I never thought that I would have an event that over 400 youth participate. I never thought that all of the laughter that when people laugh at me, he always doing something. Are the same people who inbox me as early as 2 o'clock in the morning. I never thought that the things that Miss G taught me way back in 2008, like I was like real weak minded. I would be like, okay, Miss G, she'd be like, get yourself together. If you know Gina Gaston, Miss G is no nonsense, and she doesn't play about you feeling sorry for yourself. So a lot of times when people didn't tell you things then, I would even call Miss G back then and say, Miss G, I made it. Remember Miss G? And I'd be like, I didn't see it then, but I see it now. So sometimes you can think people are hard on you, and you be like, I don't really like them because she get on my nerve. I know she gonna say something crazy, but everything she ever taught me came to pass.
Let's go.
And I had to apply it. I never thought that I would be under McDonald's charities. I never thought that I would now sit on the board for Inglewood's charities. I never thought that I would sit up there where people would call me like aldermen, from Alderwoman Stephanie Coleman, Commissioner Dennis Deere, David Moore. People would say, Brian, I have $1 million to put into a project. I need you to coordinate this for me.
Wow.
I did, last year I've done $350,000 in scholarships. All of those kids, I don't touch a dime of anybody's money. The universities gave the youth $5,000 for just applying and accepted them. Even if their grades weren't good, they put them in programs such as Gear Up to make sure that they can get into the university, and then scholarships and broke their $40,000 and $50,000 down per quarter. So they gave them that money. When the George Floyd situation hit, I was responsible for that project. I put over 20,000 people back to work when they tore up the 87th and Cottage Grove, when they tore up 87th and down around that Jewel. Over 20,000 people went back to work. I coordinated that project. So it's per the city of Chicago, I can no longer even have outreach projects without Chicago Police Department now. I never thought I would see a traffic jam like that.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Okay.
Man. You know what? What I want to say is, you know, when you see someone is not in the place they should be, and that's what I saw Brian. He was not supposed to be on our job. That was not, it wasn't, I didn't see him, you know, just that place for him. And so I think that he needed to come there for developing, but he wasn't supposed to be there. And I think that's how he felt too, because, you know, we went back and forth a lot of times because of, you know, he really didn't want to be there, but he had to be there. God put him there because he needed to learn certain things. He was like a kid when he came. He was very young. I don't know if that was his first real job, but I know it was something that he'd never done before. And I wanted to give him an opportunity, you know, to grow and be prepared for life. And I think that he was supposed to be there to prepare him for the things that he was supposed to be doing. So, Brian, let me ask you, what is the Black Men United?
The Black Men United actually came to me after I did. I had just performed another City Youth Takeover with 500 youth. Just showed up in July. So what happened was, the director was like, "Oh, okay, you and your little group will be here." And I was like, "Well, yeah, they will be here." But then when she got the report that I took up 86 and Cottage down past her way, she was approached me and said that I have a grant coming in October, and I want you to coordinate the program. I was like, "For real?" And she has a director for youth.
Just kick him to the side, huh?
Yeah, and so the Men United is going to focus on young African American men with academics, self-esteem, mental health, etiquette. A lot of young Black men today have not even been to a nice restaurant downtown.
It's true.
They haven't even been there. And so once they complete the program, so in the month of October, we're going to be covering that program. And she was like, "Are you ready?" I'm always ready. That's the way Ms. G trained me. I'm always ready. I'm not arrogant, but Ms. G has a saying, be ready. Even when you think you're not ready, you're going to go get ready. And she taught me that. So I'm not arrogant. I stay ready. So when she wanted the presentation, I was already ready and together. And needless to say, in 15 minutes, she's ready to put the program together going into January 2023. So the young men will receive a bow tie and a jacket after complete the program.
You gonna teach them how to tie it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Complete tutorial.
Yeah.
Oh, so the bow tie is going to be like the graduation ceremony, and that's like your trophy, like certificate. Oh, that's your
trademark.
Cool.
Trademark.
I like that.
That's what's up. I mean, I got a question for you. How long did it take you to get to this type of success with your events and the coordinating, the organizer? How long did it take for you for that to really happen and peak, man?
A long time. I used to get laughed at a lot. It was a lot of times where I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not making a fool of myself. I'm going to Chili's. I'm going to go have me some hot wings. I'm going to have me a margarita, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't have time to waste. I'm tired of people, and I'm not doing it no more. And that's the way I honestly felt.
Okay.
You know, even having people come out of the church house and be like, "What are you doing? Why do you keep doing this? What are you doing?" Yeah.
Wow.
But so it took years. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so it took, I would tell anybody who seeks to do this, it takes patience. It didn't happen by night.
Okay.
I can imagine.
Received when I thought about giving up, I received the email from Brittany Wozniak from McDonald's Corporate Charities going on 12:30 midnight.
Wow.
Wow.
When the next day I received another phone call from Chicago Defender Charities. When I got one of the wings of Chicago Defender Charities, Dr. Maida Rice Zimzak and Miss Susie Walker. When they took me under their wings, I received that phone call, but that took a long time and was like, there are two categories under Bud Billiken Parade. Yes, you can be in a parade, but it's a difference when you're under Chicago Defender Charities. I go under Chicago Defender Charities.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in a parade every year, aren't you?
Yes, every year.
And what's that difference you speak of?
The difference are you have an opportunity to sit on platforms for scholarships for youth. They have all kind of who's who events and things like that. All kind of special funding that they can tap into if, say, for instance, if a group doesn't have a float or anything. All kind of academic resources for scholarships to help pay for your education versus just marching the parade and we see you next year.
Okay.
So you mentioned you want to come to Gary, Indiana. What are you bringing to Gary? What or can you speak on that now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what you're going to see next summer is you're going to see the dance teams that'll be on the bus, that'll come in via bus, and you're going to see resources such as mental health. You're going to see all kind of programs that from your local hospital, blood pressure checks. You're going to see all kind of health and resources, food, fun, everything.
Okay.
And so it's going to be a Gary takeover.
Okay. Are you working with the Gary politicians, and who are you? Or
yeah, I will be working with some of the gentlemen of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, working with a couple of them to try to get them involved. It's not a Kappa Alpha Psi event. No. I'm just because I'm familiar with the chapter and they had do great work out there. Also, the mayor, the former mayor of Gary, he's affiliated with that chapter. But I'm also going to be working with different mental health organizations and bring it all together. So I've become pretty good with working with different resources. And a lot of the sponsors are going to load up and they're going to drive to Gary as well, too. Such as Shantan Snappers. I have people that are going to be Kenya We Care 2 agency that are going to have cancer kits, all kind of kits for people who may need treatment in Gary Hospital. They're going to get those kits the same day so they can have snacks and things while they're, because the radiation is no joke.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So there will be all kind of resources from now, taking it from Chicago going to the city of Gary to provide the same thing. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
So you're currently doing this all yourself. You don't have any chapters in each city or anything, or plan on putting chapters, or do you plan on putting chapters in different cities and Black communities, or you just going to continue to do it by yourself? I know it ain't like it. I know how you feel, because sometimes it ain't just like me doing it. I'm doing
your baby.
Yeah, your baby, and the quality has to stay up. So I guess if you do get somebody to do it in different cities, the quality has to be 110, just like it is.
Right.
Because I was thinking that would be cool.
I apologize.
That would be cool here.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about the chapters because I'm very hands-on with the projects, because the projects are not just projects to me, right? They're it's more than my baby. It's a God's vision, right? I can see a project so clearly that I can touch it. Like I do walkthroughs myself and everything. It's more to me than to say, oh, okay, we fed the homeless today and I'm gonna take a photo of somebody homeless that's starving to death. Would you want to be photographed if you hadn't eaten all day or in weeks? Would you want to be photographed if you ate out the garbage every day?
Exactly.
You know,
that's a different mentality there.
It is. It is.
You know, so would you want to be photographed if you were filthy and hadn't had access to a shower in weeks or a year, and it becomes immune to you? No.
Wow.
So I go into different. I'm sorry. What was that?
Whole different mentality. I did Laura Wacker feeding homeless and things like that. I've worked with kind of things like that. And that I like your attitude. I like how you're bringing it to, it's God's purpose, what God has given you. And you might have to delegate some.
And it's
eventually.
more like a lifestyle.
It
Yeah,
is.
So
definitely.
then,
It is.
Definitely.
you know, just
Dele-
a
Yes.
charity thing. It's more like a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because listen to how he talks about it. You could tell this brother, he
Yeah,
breathe, he
it's
sweat this
passion.
thing. This is
It's
in
all
him to
through
do.
him.
And I commend you, man, because a lot of people, they have a hard time trying to really find and hone in on their purpose. You took it, you recognize it, and you just dove in, bro.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Even as I've grown now, I am officially eligible for the Illinois Youth grant for the spring. Now that I know how to reach those sponsors and work with the write those grants and things like that now. But even like what I've walked away from the lodge I was involved with. Hey, you are under us.
About that.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I'm very. I'm always a brother, but I've chose to go in active because they felt that the things that I do should be up under them as they drink and step and fry chicken and fish.
Yeah, I get it.
And I saw a vision and a call when I went up there because I was remember I did the McDonald's charity, Ms. G, and I was asking for candy and things like that, right?
Yes.
A lot of people don't know the suckers and flavor of hard texture candy keeps kids from regurgitating while they're doing leukemia treatments.
Wow.
So when I seen all this liquor and the candy boxes were empty, I knew then it was time to walk away. But then when they found out that I was like the takeover that happened 3 years ago, I didn't know how that was gonna work out. And then the sponsors contacted me, Larry's Barber College, McDonald's Corporate Charities, all those things. And Ms. G will tell you, I can pack a house every year.
I've
They
been
all
to
the
some of
sponsors,
them.
huh?
I've been to some of them.
Oh yeah. I always have over $40 million in sitting in the house.
I got a question for you, Brian. If you could take us back to the beginning, how did you get it started? Did you create a 401c and did you get a team of people together? Is it just you? Like, how many people are involved with what you're doing, and how did it get started? If you don't mind sharing.
Most people will never know. I started doing it out on my own, out of my own pocket. Ms. G would be like, "You can't solicit here," so I would have people bring donations to my car. Started with me. With no 501c3, no EIN number, no nothing. And I was raising thousands of dollars in donations with people, more than people who had EIN numbers and all kind of state letters and everything.
That's true.
So it began with me, and then it began to just blossom. And then Dr. Denise Adams was the one who actually helped me to get my EIN number.
Okay.
And then the sponsors were actually shocked. I'm glad you brought that up because I shocked the hell out of the sponsors. They was like, "Brian, you did all this on your own for years. And you've been,
Wow.
I'm sorry, we read something to the side.
Well, Greg
I'm
said,
going to read it out loud. Greg said, Miss Gina was a problem, seems like.
No.
She was the enforcer.
But the thing of it is, Miss G knew. I was good at enrolling. She taught me very well. But every day I sat in that cube, I knew. And Miss G knew. She like, "Brian, you ain't gonna leave me." I said, "Nah, Miss G, I ain't going nowhere." But she knew she had to. The administrative team had to let me go so that I can grow.
Yeah.
He'd still be there if they didn't.
Yeah, and I was good at what I did. My attendance wasn't all the world's greatest because I wasn't in love with. I was good at what I did, but I wasn't in love with what I did. I'm in love with what I do in the community. There's nowhere that you can not go in the city of Chicago and not hear a Brian Metcalf. And it's not about me, it's about the lives that I touch. And that's my calling. Like, a lot of people never knew that outside the dance teams and the youth takeovers that I raised money for youth to go to school. And my old lots were like, "Well, we raised 20,000." I was like, "Yeah, I did 175,000 in a month."
Nah, take that.
This man is a heavy hit in the
Brian,
game.
other than the sponsors, who is your support team? Meaning like your family, your close friends. Do you have a lot of support from them as well?
Well, believe it or not, God is my biggest support, because I have relatives who didn't believe until they started seeing the photos and the pictures and things like that. I have relatives who have not even been to one takeover.
Wow.
I have relatives who have not been to one takeover, and then my aunt started coming out, and then people, when they start seeing the crowds and the success, then they come out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
On the bandwagon.
After the work has been
get
done.
on the bandwagon now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let me ask you this question, Brian. You were one to help turn Inglewood around. Tell us about that.
Inglewood is already going for gentrification. Inglewood has one of the highest murder rates, right? So they was like, don't touch Inglewood. We love you. We know you go in the community. Don't you go over there. Don't you do that. No. When the young man, I've aided, I don't want to say his name, I've aided with funerals, gotten balloon releases together, and I brought unity to Inglewood. Now Inglewood has gone from a murder capital in a part of the city of Chicago to city youth takeovers. Working with Alderwoman Stephanie Coleman, I love her to life. She brought Whole Food there. I've done over 50 outreach projects there, and combined total, that projects that were over 30,000 each. You know, to be a household name where people like, this was going down in Inglewood. Call Brian, make that happen. So I've also brought the Peace Garden, where senior citizens who in Inglewood on 68th and Merrill, where senior citizens, when their food stamps run out, they can go there and get fresh vegetables. They can go there and get cornbread, rice. They don't have to get somebody that gave them that's old and rotten. They can go there every summer and pick fresh greens, fresh cabbage, red cabbage. Everything is fresh. And if they don't have it, I go get it.
Wow.
Man, that's so awesome. Let me read these comments here, because I'm gonna hit somebody in their eye. Greg said, "Did Miss Gina fire you?"
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny now, because if Miss G knew, she knew. She said, Brian, you ain't gonna be here. I remember she told me that in 2010. She said, Brian, now you ain't gonna be with me forever. I need you to get your act together. I said, Miss G, I ain't going nowhere. She said, you ain't gonna be with me forever. In 2011, I had an attendance issue because what I was doing was not what I was in love with. But Miss G knew that way back when she hired me. She gave me a chance. She knew that a long time ago. Yeah. Remember when they used to have like Miss G at the job? Remember when we had award programs, and then they would have like things to put together?
Yep.
And what's his name? The car, Rob would come and get me. I knew then that it wouldn't be forever. Miss G knew. She could see farther. I was mad as hell though when I got fired. But, you know, because she took me from $8 an hour working at the currency exchange to $58,000 a year at 28 years old.
Oh yeah, that's something.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a big move.
Yeah. But when I made it, I called her and I said, Miss G, I used to always think you was mean, but you knew, didn't you? And she laughed and said, Brian, I knew.
Getting your wings.
Supposed to be there.
Right.
And I would give him a hard time because I knew he wasn't supposed to be there. I don't know how many times he sat in front of me in my office, and I would give him no.
That was every other week.
That's funny. So Gina was the mother bird that pushed you out the nest to fly.
Yeah, that's what she did. Yeah. She said, your wings is ready. You don't need to be here. Let's go. Bye.
But he's done so much.
Actually, everybody is crazy. Everybody that Miss Gina let go, because they used to be walking to the elevator. Thank God I got 5 years in. They used to stay walking to the elevator.
Dang, Gina.
So, Brian, is there anything that you have not done yet that you really want to do with all of this community work that you're doing?
Well, what's happening now is the Destiny Tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have Gary next July, Gary, then crossing state lines and just taking the Destiny Tour on. I still want to do more things like with Grant Senior Program. Senior citizen are dear to my heart. So I'm going to be doing a lot of senior. I actually go up there and I follow up with senior citizens. I want to make sure their way of living is clean. I want to make sure that they're well taken care of. I feel that it's like almost like missionary work.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's a responsibility. I feel a sense of responsibility to make sure my seniors are good, my kids are good in the community, and just taking it all over. I like going out to Lombard. Now I work with the. I'm going to be working with the autism program.
So you plan to run up? You plan to run for president?
Or a mayor or something like that?
Hey, that's how Barack started.
No. Well, no. Actually, commitment of the 34th, which will be going into the 21st ward in 2024.
That's how Barack started.
But you were with the Special Olympics too. Don't forget that now.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and then so this year I've never worked with the Special Olympics. So this year I'm stationed at one of the Chicago public high schools. So I'll be actually helping coordinate the Special Olympics. So they go for training tomorrow, their last day of training. So they're gonna be over there. It's right on 26th in California, right behind the jail over there. And so they're gonna have teams from all over the city of Chicago come together, and for youth who are hearing impaired, hard of hearing, Down syndrome, all of them, they're gonna get down in the park, and then I'll be preparing. Also, May 20th, the commitment of the 34th ward has also granted me my own Youth Lives Matter march. So this will be like my own parade.
Wow!
How do you pick and choose what areas you really want to work in, or do they just all fall in your lap?
Ma'am, unfortunately, I don't get to pick and choose.
Okay.
I can wake up one morning and I get a vision and God sends me there.
Wow.
And I go.
Okay.
I don't get to pick and choose.
And see, I thought a resource for that would probably be the McDonald's organizations. You know, McDonald's and all your sponsors, you know, they have different, chapters where you can just go, just kind of slide on in because of what they're doing your sponsorship for your charities. You think that they put some of that stuff on you if you're going to another city. Give you some information.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's read the rest of these comments because we got a psycho over here, and then we're gonna move in for some life coaching.
Yes.
We got Greg who says, "Wow, Miss Gina was psychic."
Yeah.
He also said, "This is such a great story. You are making a difference," and I totally agree. I totally agree.
There are people who are trying to do what you do, man.
A piece,
and they only doing like a fraction. I know a couple brothers, man. I know a couple guys who are trying, but with what you doing, man, is great.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
and that's
level.
because it's heartfelt, and you can even hear it as we talk about.
Yes,
that's the difference, right
that's
there.
The difference, yeah.
Because what I hear from some people is they get hurt, bro. They get hurt by people, and then when they get let down by people, they let that affect the work that they supposed to do. That's supposed to be for the people. And you don't do that. Your work is strictly coming. You, like you said, you get that vision from God, it get plopped in here, and you push it out. You don't have nothing stopping you or nothing in your way, bro. You just there for the people, man.
Yes, exactly. But you know what? I know, Jeff, you're speaking now and you're speaking some gems, but we're going to redirect, regroup, and refocus right now with our life coach, Jeff Rutherford. Give us some more words of wisdom.
All right. I really want to come from the area of support today. I didn't know the story was going to be this deep, so support is very fitting. I just want to let people know that support is just being present.
Yes,
that's all I want to let people know is support is strictly just being present. Nowadays, we have things like social media. You know what I mean? You can give somebody a view, a like, a comment, a share, and that is enough support that you need for people. Or you can give them a word, like we doing tonight, talking to Mr. Metcalf. We getting him some kind words. We giving him his flowers while he's still here on this side of heaven. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to do for people. Show up for people. Show some support. Show them some love. Show them some kindness for the different type of initiatives that people have going on. Because you just don't ever know what your support might do. Your support that you give them might just be that one next word, that one little moment that they need to take their vision to the next level. So keep showing support and make sure it comes from in here and not just out of here, but it comes from in here so people really know that you support them.
Yeah.
Xavier.
That's our life coach.
Hey,
comes on every Monday. Don't forget, he comes on every Monday. So follow him. Pay attention to what he's talking about because he knows what he's talking about.
We're a little late on the show today. It's gonna come out this evening, but I got y'all.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Brian,
I appreciate
have a
those
quick
kind
comment.
words.
You had mentioned the Bud Billiken Day Parade, and it made me chuckle because I have attended one. I repeat, one Bud Billiken Day Parade. I attended it with a company that I used to work with that does not have a great working relationship with the community. I'm gonna go ahead and name them. Comcast. Let me tell you something, brother. We got booed from the beginning of the parade to the end of the parade. Little children were like this.
Y'all taking everybody money. That's why.
Yeah.
It's bad.
In the beginning, my feelings was hurt. I was like, man, I never got booed like that. Like, you know, some people like dismiss you, like, get out of here. But I get like it was like they would cheer for the float in front of us, and then when they got to Comcast, it was like boo the whole ride, bruh.
Oh,
that's
my
rough.
goodness.
So it's important to have a good working relationship with the community and to connect with people, because otherwise they don't even need to go to the parade no more. Don't do that. I didn't know. Somebody should have warned me.
Right.
And see, most people think that, it's Bud Billiken Parade, but Bud Billiken Parade is who's who within the community.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's who within the community. And then most people don't know, you know, the way Ms. G taught me, has also taught me, I give her credit. Good leaders not only follow, but they also serve.
Yep.
Like it was a time, let me use this for an example. When I had enrollments at the college, right? And I didn't know how to talk to the student. And Ms. G would get on the phone and do the demonstration on how you're supposed to appropriately do what you're supposed to do. She didn't get paid to be on the phone. She had been done with the phone, right? But she put herself down to a general employee to show true leadership. So most people don't know. I like to say most people don't know. Not only when I go to other people's event and show support. And not only do I do that, I don't wear a t-shirt that say Destiny Foundation. I don't wear any of that. If anybody else in any dance community coach, anybody can tell you, when I get to the events, I'm there with jogging pants, shorts, regular t-shirt, and I actually work your event. I actually set your event up to make sure you're successful.
That's what's up.
Servant leadership.
And I have no title on, no Destiny Foundation shirt on. I have none of that on.
That's what's up.
And I remember somebody was like, "You here to I thought you would have been supervising." No, I'm here to work. That's what true servanthood is, and that's why a lot of people are not successful.
Right.
Say that, brother.
One
more time for the people in the back. Say it one more time.
Like you owe Miss Gina a check. The last thing you got, CAD, Isidore, SON.
Who is that Greg Gray? Mercy.
Lord have mercy.
That's a
I'm gonna
character.
tell you, Brian, I am so proud of you. I just knew that he had something more powerful in him than what he was doing at the job we were on. I just knew it. And we just been in contact even after he left. When did you leave, Brian? It was what, 2011. 11 years ago. And I follow what he does. Robert and I have attended many of his events. He has come out to many of my events. that's just a relationship of respect. It's a relationship of respect, and to see him grow into what he is now and what he's doing now, it just makes me so proud. And I tell him that all the time. Just very, very proud of him.
Appreciate you. And I look at a lot of things too. A lot of people who Miss Gina did let go, they're entrepreneurs. Some of them haven't worked anybody's job in over 6 years.
Yeah.
I look at that. Everybody, Herschelia owns a business and properties now. Everybody who Miss Gina let go, it wasn't funny then, but everybody who Miss G let go is like, she developed you, then she got to let you go. She developed you, then she got to let you go and be great.
Can you fire me from my job, Gina?
No.
What you say, Jeff?
I see the
That ain't
trend.
the same job.
You need to let me go from my gig, okay?
Gina gonna fire us all from the TV show. She gonna fire us all from the show so we can move on to something else.
Be great. Okay. Push us out of the nest.
Push us all out, Gina.
That was good, Jeff. That was good.
You just segued into that. I had to run with that.
But you know what? I know this show's not about Gina, but that's the true signs of a true leader.
Yeah.
And you are able to lead, like Brian said, to also follow, to be the servant, and to be big enough to push the people out there versus trying to hold them back because you're trying to be the head at all times and keep people up under you. That's the true sign of a leader, of a true leader. Kudos, Gina.
Thank you,
sis.
Well, you know what? It's that time. We got to go around the room. We got to go around the room and give give our thoughts, give our last words. And so, Brian, we're going to start with you because I know you got a lot of wisdom and some nuggets that you want to put out there. So go right ahead.
You know, I would just tell anybody, well, first of all, I hope to see you guys at the 2022 Urban Leadership Awards, December 11th at the Word of Truth Church, 415 West 111th Street. Yeah, 415 West 111th Street, the Word of Truth. Starts at 5. Doors open at 3, though. Please get there by 3:30. It's a free event. To appear, McDonald's Corporate Charities, Larry's Barbara Maximus, We Care 2 agency, a bunch of different agencies. But there will be over $20 million in sponsorships in the house. People who have sponsored me.
Man, Robert and I went to one at the same church, and wow, it was so many people there. So many people, caring people, older men, older women. The house was just packed with people, the people you should know, there's people who you want to rub elbows with. Those were the people showing up and just showing support, and it was amazing. It was truly amazing.
Yeah. And another thing is too, if anybody ever donates, all monies, I don't ask anybody for anything. Those things are already taken care of. But when I have events, I do like, especially when I take over Gary, I'm going to be reaching out to you guys. I'm very good about seeing about the seniors. I don't play about my senior citizens. And I'm looking forward to a great 2023 year. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yes, and I know it's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, we gonna move on now. I'm gonna just say, look, man, I'm gonna make sure I share the heck out of this episode because, like I said, I know a couple brothers who out here trying, man, and they got so much of that hurt in their heart from people, and I'm telling you, people who are trying to organize, people who are trying to set up, brother, they can take not just one page out of your book, they need to take your whole book, bro.
Right,
because you got a lot of teaching that to offer somebody just with your presence alone. Your presence alone says a lot about you, dog. It really does. So I just commend you, and my man, keep going because you what you're doing is this bigger than state to state, bro. This about to be all united, okay, with what you got going on, bro. So just keep moving, man. It's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate that. I'm not gonna be long with it. I keep a little book, right? and I make sure that my book is filled. It's not to make sure that I'm busy. It tells the story of what you've invested in you. Ms. G taught me that. We would go to a Cuban, you keep a book. And if you haven't put anything into you yourself, you don't wait for, I'll never wait for anybody to put anything out. Ms. G used to had a saying where before anybody else believes you, you have to believe you. And if you don't put anything into you, then how do you expect for anybody else to put anything into you? And if you don't take yourself seriously, who else will? So I write the vision, make it plain, and God does the rest.
Amen.
Come on.
Yes.
All right. I got two major takeaways from today. One of which is listen to God. When God tells you to move on to something else, don't get in your own way. Just listen to that voice. Move on, because God will make it uncomfortable for you. And sometimes he'll force the hand for you to move on to what's next.
Go
Secondly,
grab your blessing.
From what Gina gave us, that's everything that he shared. What Gina did is being unselfish, right? And servant leadership as well, right? So she didn't want to be selfish. Like, all right, I see all these great skills and benefits that these people have, and I want to keep them, just for me, just for this company to make my job easier. She was like, nah, y'all need to go. Like, there's nothing else you can learn here. There's nothing else. There's nowhere else for you to grow here. So in order for you to grow, I got to let you go. So I applaud that for you doing that, Gina. That's what we all have to do. We all have to see the potential in people, see what people are capable of doing, and being able to be comfortable with letting them go. Even though sometimes it'll make our job more difficult. Well, we got to train other people and teach other people and hire other people. But the people that we had that's ready to go, let them go. Let them be great. Let them move on to what's next. So those are my two takeaways. Thank you both. Brian, thanks. And brother, keep going. Great work, brother.
Wow.
Thank you.
And Brian, again, thank you for coming on our show. You've inspired me, and I'm older than you. I know several guys also, and women in the Gary area that are trying to do similar things to what you're doing. I'm going to try to hook them up with you and let them know about you. People, get involved in your community. If you see something that needs to be done, get involved. Even if it's something small, you never know. Brian didn't start out with the millions. He started small, and they saw what he was doing. And then the people came, the provisions came. When God gives you a vision, I've said this before, he also gives you the provision. It's just a matter of taking that first step. And when God sees that you have the faith in what he's given you, your purpose, he shows up and shows out. Get involved. If you're told no the first, second, third, fourth time, keep moving. Someone else is going to tell you yes.
Man. If you want to be a hero, man, first you got to be a blessing to somebody. And bro, you're doing exactly that. You're going to be a hero. Trust me.
God is good, man.
Yes. He is one, not going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm going to use my final minutes to read these private chats. Marcy said, hush, Greg. Marcy also said, Brian, please make sure you give Gina the info again so that she can give it to us.
Yes.
Greg said he called y'all senior citizens.
No.
He older than all of us.
And Life Coach said LMAO. And Greg said, I got your clothes, Gina. I will play the right one. Then he said, no, I don't. So I'm just going to say one of the biggest things that I heard from Brian is that he wanted to give up, but he didn't give up. He got laughed and heckled at.
Yeah.
Just like Jesus got stoned, Yeah. But he did not stop. He kept going.
Yes.
And that there were times when he said, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. But something in him pushed him and told him, you got to keep going. You can't give up. And he continued and he continued. And look where he is now. Look at all the people he has blessed. Look at all the children, all the, the homeless people, the people that are struggling, the people looking for a better education so they could get a better life. Look at all the lives that he has touched because he didn't say, "You're right. I don't need to do this. You're right. This is foolish. I need to stop." I'm saying this to say to you, never give up on your dream.
Never.
Never let anyone else steer you in a different direction, because that is your calling. And you will never be happy if you don't do what it is that you were called to do. So we really do take our hat off to you, Brian. We really appreciate you. I even have a even stronger respect for you and all the things that you're doing and all the things that you're going to do, because it ain't over yet.
Yes,
So, yes, we really appreciate you coming and sharing everything with us and making sure that people know what's happening in their city and what's coming to our city.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Just let me know. I am definitely there.
Most definitely. Yeah. What you're going to experience in Gary next summer, you're going to have tumblers, you're going to have mental health, you're going to have free food, you're going to have, it's going down. I'm taking over Gary. It's going down the same way I do Chicago.
You say it's over Gary, and I don't even mind.
Hosted by radio host Daryl Cook from 106.3. So it's going down next summer in Gary.
That is what's up. Well, that's all we have today. And hopefully I'll find the right one to put out there, because I don't know.
Where is the outro?
But I'm going to give it a shot, y'all.
No, there you go, girl.
Make sure Zell's on there.
Let me see.
See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank y'all for having me.
No problem.
All right. Peace, bro.
Right.
Peace
All right,
everybody.
All right.